Welcome back to Johnny Reads. Today I'm going to be talking about the 6th book that I read this year and then the 5th one that I read for my 2017 reading challenge. And so first, the book, of course, is Game of Shadows by Mark Funarawada and Lance Williams. This book is about Balco, which was a company, but it wasn't really a company. A company that provided elite and really high-level athletes with steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs. They started pretty late in the game, right around 2000. But of course, the steroid era, at least in the part of baseball, was about 20 years that we know, and then anything before that, we don't know. I read this book to fulfill a requirement to read a book about baseball. Technically, this book isn't 100% about baseball. It's about track and football, baseball, whatever athletes were, whatever sports they were playing. But the focus is definitely on baseball. So first off, I always start with negative. I have nothing negative to say about this book. The thing is, I am a baseball super fan. I mean, you cannot... I can't tell you how much I love baseball. It's just one of those things. I started playing baseball when I was in 2nd grade. I played for almost a decade. It was the first sport that I came to love. I just can't tell you how much I love baseball. The thing about this is it's written so matter-of-factly, and as it should be, because it's nonfiction and it's written by journalists. It doesn't show you their perspectives, but it tells you the stories of all these different athletes that were implicated in the entire Balco investigation and scandal. My first takeaway, though, is that the steroid era, which, like I said, was about 20-25 years that we can really put it for sure, maybe just a little bit longer. Right around the middle of the 2000s is when it really just came to a halt because of drug testing and penalties and stuff like that. But the steroid era was 100% bad for baseball. People talk about the home run race in 1998 when Mark McGwire hit 70 to break Bart Ramirez's home run record of 61, and Sammy Sosa was right behind him, I think, with 66. And people talk about that race and point to that race as bringing baseball back, because we had just had a strike-shortened season in 1994, and it was just one of those things where that spectacle, people say it brought baseball back. In the steroid era, all it did was balloon stats and give people these outrageous seasons that almost had never been done before. And then you have Barry Bonds, who's essentially I don't want to call him the scapegoat, because if you're taking steroids, then you're taking steroids. People call him the greatest player ever, blah, blah, blah. But he's a focal point of the book. He's on the cover. His numbers before he is known to have started taking steroids were Hall of Fame worthy, but probably middle of the pack, maybe even on the low end. And then, of course, he breaks the all-time home run record. He breaks the single-season home run record. He has, just so many records. It's not funny. He has a gazillion MVP awards. It's outrageous. And I hate it. I hate it. The Astros just recently, if you don't know, I'm from Houston, which I imagine you do. They just recently, in the last couple of years, got their first 2 Hall of Famers into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. And from the voting every year is public after the votes are announced. And for a while, it looked like Roger Clemens, who's also highly suspected of steroids, although he never failed a test, which means absolutely nothing. Him and Barry Bonds are the 2, because Roger Clemens also has a gazillion Cy Young awards, which is basically to the best pitcher in baseball every year. So it looked like for a long time that they would never get in the Hall of Fame. And it looks like both of them are eventually going to get in. And it's just, I hate it. And as a baseball fan, as someone who's grown to love the game so much, I don't know, it's just hard for me to imagine that these writers, these people who supposedly cover the game every day, they're paid to cover the game, their job is to cover the game, can just say, you know what, if so-and-so, this person gets in, I'm going to vote for Bonds, I'm going to vote for Clemens. And a lot of writers are voting for both. So my takeaway from this book is that Bonds is a prick and a jerk this book didn't focus on Roger Clemens, it focused on Bonds, so my thoughts of him are irrelevant to the book, so I won't say anything. But the thing is that during the Balco investigation, dozens of players and athletes were called before a federal grand jury, told that you will not be prosecuted for anything that you admit to, as long as you tell the truth. And one by one, the athletes told the truth. But Barry Bonds didn't. And that really pisses me off. That you can do something, you know it's wrong, you know it's not right, you know it's illegal, actually. And then when you get caught, you're like, oh, wait a minute, let me save myself. It's a joke. And the one thing that I will say is the fact that Bud Selig was elected to Hall of Fame this year is an absolute joke. And Bud Selig, he became the commissioner in '98, something like that. So he presided over the end of it. He presided over Major League Baseball when they chose to not do anything, and then when they first brought in their penalties, and then when they made the penalties very, very strict. But he's been in baseball forever. And so the fact that he got into the Hall of Fame is a joke, and he doesn't deserve it. He didn't earn it, and that's all there is to it. I'm telling you, I love baseball. I cannot tell you how much I love baseball. I love baseball just as much as I love books. So that's all I have for you today. I doubt you've read Game of Shadows, but if you're a sports fan, I'm not going to say that this is a must-read, because I would say if you're a baseball fan, Moneyball is probably something that you'd be more interested in. But if you have any interest in the entire steroid era or anything like that, Marion Jones, Tim Montgomery, all those guys who later on came out and said, yeah, they took whatever they took, then you'll probably find this book pretty interesting. So let me know in the comments if you've read it before, if you're a big sports fan or anything like that, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. New video every Wednesday. I'll see you next time.